4, 3, 2, 1.
Very, very important, by the way. Good morning and welcome to Community Chit Chat for this Saturday. Let's see what Saturday is this. It's September 19th, 2020. I'm Jim Vossen, V as in Victor, O-S-S-E-N. And we are live today. We're live. Well, unless you hear this at another time, then we're not live. We have a returning guest, one of my favorite guys, within reason. As soon as that turns down like that, I go like this, and I go that. And I'm getting an echo somewhere because something is, let's see. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's okay. Anyway, my special guest this morning. Where am I getting that from? I'll have to figure that out. Dave Pacheco, our Mayor Pro Tem, and let's see. I'm going to get rid of that. That's not it. Something is driving me a little crazy, but it shouldn't be. All right, Community Chit Chat. Anyway, my guest, Dave Pacheco, and if I do this correctly, like so. Good morning, Dave. How are you doing?
Good morning, Jim. How are you doing?
I don't know. Seems like you.
Having troubles over there, huh?
I don't know what's going on. I have a funny feeling that it's a monitor out there that. Do you hear like talk somewhere else coming? I don't know what. Oh, okay.
It's all quiet and all good over here.
It's all quiet over there. Well, it's something that's driving me up the wall. Anyway, little things like that. I hear myself about a half a second later. All right, so we are here. It is Saturday morning. We have an official from the city of Seaside. I'm in my little box up in the corner. He's got the bigger view because and I've got his title up there, Dave Pacheco, Seaside Mayor Pro Tem. Fair, good, fair, right?
You got every word spelled correctly.
Spelled correctly.
You're on a good page.
Did you know that I gave you one of our pages that we run? You have a slide.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, with because you're running for re-election.
I am running for re-election.
How many times have you ran for re-election?
This is my third time, or my second time. This is the third time I've been, in the race as such. So it's going for my third term.
Third term. Okay. And now each term is 4 years. Is that
yes,
right?
Well, it's 4 years for the council and it's 2 years for the mayor. So the mayor's election is up as well.
Yeah. Has there ever been talk or thought of changing the mayor thing to a 4-year term? Has there ever been that thought?
I think there has been. I think the city is the general law city, so they have to go by that 2-year term. I know other cities, to include Marina, are potentially changing their style of government to make that 4-year term, because it's real hard for anybody to run every 2 years, because in time you get elected, you have to start
working
all
on
over again. That's right.
Now, where I come from up in Daly City, I think I've mentioned this before, they're the type that they alternate mayor.
Right.
They, whoever. Supposedly they do it, by the way, in order of who got the larger vote.
Oh, okay.
Generally speaking, that way, or something like that.
Yeah. Watsonville does that as well.
They do.
I don't know how they. I know they take turns every year, so they have that same kind of process.
Ah, okay. All right. So let's get back to something. You're running, and then the election is November.
November 3rd.
November 3rd. Now, I noticed on my Facebook page yesterday or the day before, and Ian Oglesby, our current mayor, he's on there, and he had a kind of two announcements. There were two separate little things there about being endorsed by the Democrat group. Two different things.
Probably the Progressive Democrats.
Progressive Democrats. Is that a separate organization?
Yeah, there's all kinds of different subcommittees, but there's the Progressive Democrats, and the Democrats, and then I've heard there's a new group based out of Salinas, I've heard, but it's for the area. It's called the New Progressive.
New.
So there's.
What happened to the old one?
that's still going on, and they endorsed the mayor for a second term.
Okay. Now, it's no secret, I happen to be a Republican, and I never could quite understand the word progressive, because in this day and age, it seems like some of the things that the real far left are promoting, to me, sound more regressive. But I'm not going to get into that with you. I think part of the thing that kind of stuck out at me when I saw Ian's thing is that the position of city councilman in Seaside or mayor is a nonpartisan thing. You don't run as necessarily a Democrat.
No, because the issues aren't, federal government or state government. It's very localized.
Yeah.
They want the process to be those groups or groups in general want their message shared and their certain philosophy shared, and so therefore they endorse different candidates.
Now, on a separate subject matter, when you came in, I said you have a cat or a dog. You said you have a dog, and you got all the hairs off. Everything, your shirt looks good. What kind of dog do you have?
It's not really my dog. It's my son's dog. That's over quite a bit. And I believe he's a mixed lab.
Oh, okay.
So
nice dog.
He's a nice dog, well behaved.
Does he chase a tennis ball and bring it back?
Yes, he does.
Does he not let you have it? Does he turn his head?
He gets bored sometimes, I think, but for the most part, he lets you play with them.
And, because my experience with dogs like that, you throw the ball, they go get it, they come back, look like they're going to give it to you. You go to grab it, and they turn their head. Nope, you can't have it. He doesn't do that?
No, he does. He's a smart dog.
Smart dog. Okay.
So he lets you play for him 3 or 4 throws, and after that, he hides in a corner and rests. But,
okay. Is he an older dog?
He's only about a couple years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He says, enough of this game.
Yeah, he's just a little bored, real quick.
I used to have, years ago, I had a cat. Believe it or not, it was when I was smoking, and I would take a pack, an empty pack of cigarettes. I'd throw it down the hallway. The cat would chase it and pick it up and bring it back and drop it off to me. What do you think about that for a cat?
I think that's in social media. You'd be a hit. You'd be a wonder kind of a cat owner.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Pretty impressive.
Later in life, I had a cat who could be in the bathroom. We had like a hallway to the bathroom, and he would jump up and kind of curl his paw and turn off the light switch.
Do you train these cats?
No, I don't know. It was just happening.
And do you have any animals now?
I have one. I have one cat, an 18-year-old cat, which we adopted about 8 months ago from PetSmart here. Black and white cat, who is named Peanut. He has his own website, peanuttthekittycat.com. And black and white cat. He's a nut, but anyway, I guess they all are.
Does he do tricks too?
Does he do tricks? No, other than he has a fascination. I have these, the Ricola cough drops. Yeah. My wife, if I start, sometimes you lay down in bed, if you've had, soda or something like that, you sometimes cough a bit. And so she makes me take one of those so I stop coughing. Anyway, I had an empty bag. I just emptied one, rolled it up. No, actually, I didn't roll it up. I just threw it out on the floor. The cat has to go after it, pick it up in his mouth, and walk around with it. He just loves that. He doesn't tear it all apart, but finds it fascinating, either the sound of it or something. But cats are interesting to me. I like cats. Did you ever have a cat?
A long time ago when I was a kid, just for a short period of time.
Oh, okay. I mean, they're something. They take care of themselves.
That's right.
If you leave them enough food and a good clean cat box, you can go away for a day or two and not have to worry too much.
They're very independent.
Unless you come back and find that they're died.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah. I'm going to get you to turn just a little bit more towards the cat. There we go.
Okay.
So everybody can see your whole self. Yeah. So what's it like being a councilman? What's your daily calendar look like?
I think every day is different. The council person is a volunteer for the most part position. So it all depends on the day. So sometimes we might have a meeting in the morning for a breakfast morning meeting with different constituents or residents. Later in the day, it depends. We have to study for the council meeting. Then there's also subcommittee meetings, and then associated with that, there's meetings with the MST board or the FORA board or
that's right,
TAMSI board or
how many boards are you on? Do you know?
I'm not on a whole lot. I'm on the MST, the Taxi Authority, the what do you call it? The what's it called? There's a group that looks at concerns from residents related to fixing streets or roads and all that, as far as getting like their curves painted red, things of that nature. So I'm on that board, and then I'm a couple backups for the mayor on the used to be the FORA board and the TAMSI board.
There's no more FORA board.
FORA board has gone away.
What does that mean? By the way, they're gone. So who's in charge? Anybody in charge?
A lot of their own cities are in charge, but the city is the purveyor of land as such. So the federal government, was piecemealing land and still is for different city ownership as such.
Yes.
So the federal government gives the money, gives the land to, and then we turn it over to the local city as such, which involves a lot of paperwork and organization and bureaucracy and all that. So we are the lead agent as far as getting the different lands and dealing with all the paperwork and transferring the land to the appropriate city.
Okay. All right. So pretty much the Seaside right now knows what lands are designated to Seaside.
Right.
Okay. And which lands are there some lands that are going to be turned over to Seaside later as what do you call those munitions things are cleared? Is that down the road somewhere?
I think a lot of the land has been turned over. I think East Seaside, there's always still doing some tests, that's on General Moore Road. I believe that's not officially Seaside yet because they still have to do. They're always doing testing. But the main gate area, the Bakewell project, Campus Town project,
right,
the nurses' barracks, all that is turned over to Seaside, and obviously the land.
Are there any nurses out there anymore?
They're all gone, but they just approved affordable housing and regular housing for about 40 units. We just approved that the other night. That's Mr. Glover's project.
Now, is Joe Cardinelli still involved in that or not?
Joe's not involved. It's just a 40-unit property. At one time they were talking about a much larger scaled apartment complex, but that didn't work, and so now it's just down to 40 units, and it was approved Thursday night. So obviously there's still paperwork to go and make sure we have some water, and then you'll be building redesigning that area. They're not tearing it down from the ground. They're using what's existence and kind of making that as well. So it should be a really nice project.
You brushed by one item, that the part up near General Jim Moore, all that land that I'm sure people are driving and said, I'd love to live over there and have that beautiful view of everything, the whole city and the ocean and stuff. What's that looking like?
Yeah, that's it's called East Seaside. Basically, that was where the city was talking about building a courthouse and maybe moving the city hall there, maybe some recreational outdoor seating venues and things of that nature. The state, because they're having extreme challenges, they're not allocating any funds to counties for courthouses. So right now it's still on hold. The virus has delayed a lot of plans for all this, and I think in the very near future we're going to be doing a community plan and see what the residents want in that area, kind of like we did for the Bakewell project, to ensure that the residents have buy-in to what can work over there and what will work, and if then we'll see what happens there.
There was this group that was interested in, if you build up there, that it needs to be close homes, where you're right next door to everybody, instead of like a big piece, a little property with a nice, beautiful house on it or something. They wanna make a whole bunch. I don't know if you guess to call it affordable, but they want it to be more condensed. Is that fair?
Right. So obviously, the smaller and the smaller property, the cheaper value, because there's a big push for affordable housing in this area.
Yeah.
So they're trying to be as creative as possible as far as that. And the city is establishing an ADU program.
ADU, what is that?
That's basically a grant a unit, kind of sort of in your backyard, assisted dwelling unit, or so that way, you can rent out a piece of property in your backyard or side area, so that way at a reasonable rate, so that way people could afford to live, because the cost of living around here is so high, and the salaries aren't compensatory towards to the salary, so people are just trying to get a start on a place to live in, and sometimes those places hopefully can rent for $1,200 to $1,500 a month, or cheaper hopefully, where people can live, especially a young population that's starting their working career or trying to get through college. There's a huge need for that.
Yeah. All right. You would when I came down here originally back in 2003, I saw a lot of land, especially up at the Fort Ord. I said, "Gee, why are we having a housing problem?" But this stuff takes time, huh?
Yeah, like I said, the 40 units, the main gate, the Campus Town project will have hundreds upon hundreds of houses, and it goes through. For us, he's gone through 2 lawsuits.
Yeah.
It has to go through all the different environmental discussions. It has to go through the planning, the building. So that's been about 8-9 years. Yeah. Hopefully, with a little bit of luck, and we'll maybe turn some ground in the new year and see if we can build something within 3 or 4 years to get that project going. In the main gate, hopefully the developer will agree to some terms, and we can see some process in that. But it takes years upon years because of all the land use requirements.
I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or just time has gone by, but I was trying to remember the name of the horse project. What was that called?
Monterey Downs.
Monterey Downs. That's it. Yeah, it's funny how sometimes time. Do you ever have that problem?
I do have that problem on occasion. Yes, I do.
And then all of a sudden it comes up later, doesn't it?
Yes, after you don't need it anymore.
Don't need it, then it appears. Right. All right, we're going to take a small break because, 2 things. Well, because we're going to take a small break, and because I'd like to see if I can find out where this echo is coming from, which is bothering me like nobody's business, but it's okay. Anyway, this is Community Chit Chat. We're here on Saturday morning, September 19th, 2020. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something like this and something like we'll take me out of the picture. We'll do this and do this. Here we go. Be right back.
KMBY Monterey.
Can I help you, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm interested in this SUV.
As soon as your husband gets here, I'll be more than happy to show you all the features.
Actually, it's for me.
Well, then no need looking under the hood. Here's where the cup holders are, and there's the rear view mirror. That's where you can put on your makeup. And this is the steering wheel here. It's what you use to drive with. Hey, honey, come on back here.
Tired of being badgered? For a better way and a better deal, come to the Seaside Auto Center in Seaside. I Jim Vossen here for the Delray Oaks Chamber of Commerce. If you have never been to Delray Oaks before, it is well worth coming by. About 20 years ago, a young gentleman took on the task of counting all the trees in Delray Oaks. He's still counting them today. There's a great and famous restaurant in Delray Oaks called Tarpey's. And of course, they have a Starbucks and a Jack in the Box and a large Safeway. There is also a special place where people come from miles around to look at a large frog population. If you need your spirits lifted, there is the beautiful Church of the Oaks. Check out their website, churchoftheoaks.com. And if you're in the neighborhood, stop by and say hi to my good friend, Reverend Dr. Robert Helen. To find out more about Delray Oaks, check out DelrayOaksCalifornia.com. That's DelrayOaksCalifornia.com. Brought to you by the Delray Oaks Chamber of Commerce. To join the chamber, call 394-6501. All right, we're back. I think I found the problem. I've never. So let me see. Let's get that out of the way. And yes, I found the problem, and we got to start the whole show over again, if I may. All right, my special guest, Mayor Pro Tem of the city of Seaside, the beautiful city of Seaside. And you know, I'm a guy born and raised in San Francisco. And let me tell you, I have friends still in San Francisco who say, Jim, when you're coming back? And I says, I'm not leaving because this is paradise here. I think we're one of the greatest cities in the world. Shouldn't tell anybody because then they're all going to want to come here, right?
That's right.
Yeah. But you've been here for a long time, have you not? Were you born? You were born here?
I'm a lifelong resident of Seaside. Yes.
Lifelong resident of Seaside. Okay. And you actually born here?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, actually in Carmel, but
in Carmel.
Carmel Hospital.
The hospital, I understand. Yeah. Do they do that? I guess so. If you on your birth certificate says birthplace Carmel.
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't looked at it for decades, but
I do you know where it is? Do you know where your birth certificate is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Just
in a little closet somewhere.
A little closet. Okay. So during the break, I know I found this problem, and I feel bad, but at least I know where the problem was. I had this one, we call these on the audio board here, the different levels, like for your mic and my mic and so on. They're called POTS, they actually call them, for short for potentiometer. That's what it is. Anyway, one of them that comes from the DVD recorder was up just a hair, and it was just enough to bother me. And I just did that to hear it again. So anyway, that's all right. We're okay. Unfortunately, it's not something we can edit out of there. We're stuck with that. All right. So Seaside, what's the deal? We have I get a call every so often because of the Chamber of Commerce. People will call and ask me, what's that hotel in Seaside that's right down there on the beach?
Oh, yes.
And lo and behold, I don't know if I ever drew these designs of the boundaries and such. I need to look at that someday, because obviously In-N-Out is in Seaside, right?
That's true.
But this other hotel down there, you would think that it's in Seaside, but it's not. But now when you go down Canyon del Rey to that beach, is that technically Seaside Beach?
No, it's it used to be. I think it's now owned by the Monterey Regional Park District.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're the responsible part.
Okay.
Responsible partner or community person or leader of the ownership of that area.
Yeah, but technically, if I may, if you were,
it
is in Seaside though.
Yeah, it's called Seaside Beach. Yes.
Okay, all right, that's our only beach, right?
Yes.
Now, is that open from time to time now with the virus and such?
I know I've seen people down there. I believe it is, but I haven't been that way for a while, but last time I was down that way, it was open, and people were having access to it.
Do you ever walk the trail?
okay, like once every
It's been a
long time. It's been
yeah.
a good amount of time.
You know what? Mary Lou and I talk about this all the time. Here we're down here in this beautiful area. We're never walking on the trail. Well, I'm going to say never go to the beach. We've gone to the beach sometimes, but the times that we want to go to the beach, that lot's crowded.
Right.
And but that when you go to that beach, there's that area where there's kind of like a water outlet of something. It seems to change its direction at times.
Right.
Sometimes you can go one way, but anyway. But again, I'm born and raised in San Francisco. I've never been to Alcatraz.
Oh my goodness.
I've never been on the red and white fleet, that goes out in the bay and stuff. Never done that.
I think it's time for you to take a trip to San Francisco.
Oh God, no thanks. Have you been up there lately? It is terrible.
No,
you don't want to be on Market Street nowadays down there. You don't want. It is a filthy place. Really, really very sad.
But Alcatraz is a very fun trip. It's
uh-huh.
a lot of fun. It's very interesting. Nice ride out there on the boat, and
I've been to San Quentin, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
I've never been in San Quentin, but in my old days when I was installing car alarms, I was in the car burglar alarm business. There were a few, deputies or whatever they call them, that I would come over and put alarms on them outside of the gate, you might say, in a little spot, and put alarms on their cars. But that's my closest thing to that. Although we do play a Johnny Cash song called San Quentin. I Hate Every Inch of You, it's called. It's a great song. All right, so you don't go on the trail too often. I don't go on the trail too often. What do you do? What do you do for fun? Do you well? First of all, I'll bet you like me that what you do, your everyday stuff, being involved with the public, that is fun for you. Is that right?
No, that's I do a lot of that. I enjoy, talking to different people and seeing things happen in the community, trying to help other organizations do that. Mm-hmm. For fun, sometimes I walk around the neighborhoods or walk around the different Laguna Grande Park, go to concerts when we were allowed to do that, and community events as well as, events in Monterey. Most of it regarding music. Enjoy going to a lot of different restaurants in Seaside. There's all kinds of cultural.
We didn't have Blues in the Park this year.
No, it didn't have Blues in the Park.
Hopefully next year we'll be back in. Hopefully.
Hopefully. So and all these other festivals that are jazz festival to the Israeli Greek festivals, all those have been canceled.
And the jazz thing, I guess they're going to try. They're trying to do something online, which you know what. That's not going to go over very good.
Yeah, that's a hard area to push because everybody tries to get onto Zoom, and it's a difficult plan.
Yeah, and I be honest with you, I don't like that Zoom stuff. It's just not. It's not the same.
No.
As going into the council chambers. When do you now City Hall? Is that technically open, or are the doors locked? How does that work?
The doors are locked.
Okay.
You have to make appointments if you want to go down there, or as you walk up the stairs, call them and they'll come out. And there's a front desk area that's kind of outside in the hall, as you begin to enter.
Right.
And they'll come out and talk to you and see what you need, and they'll show you to the appropriate area.
Now, by the way, I think I've mentioned this to you before, and this is one of my complaints that I think the city should really think about. And that is, my understanding is, unless things have changed, the Seaside does not process their own business licenses. That it's done by an outside source.
Right.
I think that's a bad idea. Monterey doesn't do it. Sand City doesn't do it. I don't know of any other communities that don't do that. And I think that the sad part is that when you don't do your own, I don't know how hard that could be. I really don't. How hard that is to do that. But when you don't do your own, I don't think that the city officials there, the people that kind of do the clerks and such, I don't think they have as much contact with that business side, the people coming in with a new business to either help them or something. They basically directed, well, here's an application, go mail it to someplace down in Southern California.
Right. And that's true. I think, you're right. I think the community contact with staff is an initial way to start a new business. I believe our fire department goes to numerous businesses as part of inspections for all businesses.
Right.
They do that annually,
right.
And they're good ambassadors to the city.
Yeah.
But I think the
I
local staff is important, and it creates at least an understanding of how things work.
How does one say for myself? You write a letter to all the council members suggesting that they look into it to see, at least look into what would be the pros and cons of doing that.
Right. I think that would be it's always a good starting point, as well as writing a letter to the city manager, and he helps direct what's going to be on the agenda and how it's going to be on the agenda. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the council looks at and reviews those items and hopefully makes some intelligent decisions based on cost effectiveness.
Yeah.
If it can move forward.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those things. It's been bothering me, and you know what? I've never written anything about it. I guess I should. If those that don't speak up, how did it become that way? Because somebody didn't complain at the beginning.
That's right.
Question authority. You should always check that out. And if you don't do that, it's hard to complain.
I think more people that make suggestions, sometimes the council listens and the city manager listens, and we can improve if we get those ideas. Sometimes we're not focused on some of the things that are important to business people.
Now, I remember I did bring up something one time. This was a few years ago, and I know that I think the city has changed some of their positions on this, but the the volunteer thrift shop just about 2 blocks down, run by ladies there, not the Goodwill store, but this other one, NVP something, I believe.
MPVS?
Monterey
Peninsula
Volunteer something, yeah.
Right.
Anyway, and they're a member of the chamber, and I remember them calling me about, some years ago, when they wanted to repaint their building. Not change the color, just freshen it up.
Right.
Make it look nice. And the city wanted a $1,500 permit fee.
Right.
And that's for somebody on the outside looking at it, say, what the what? And I think that's changed.
What we did, yes, I think it might have been lowered, but we did for a period of a year when they were doing the renovation of Broadway.
Yeah.
We waived those fees so people could get fix their facades, so therefore they could improve their business appearance if work, and they get more customers.
Yeah.
So for about a year, 18 months, we allowed business to have no fees as such, to encourage them to improve their facilities.
Yeah. Now, so how are things looking on Broadway, by the way?
Things are tough, and
tough with the pandemic. I know.
Yeah, I can't. Other Brothers, I think it's called.
Yeah.
They've done some work for more outdoor seating, so that's a good thing.
Are they doing okay? Do you know?
I've been told they were doing. They're doing fine. Not great, but they're holding their own. The Mexican restaurant near the Sportsman's Club.
No. Okay. Yes.
They have a lot more outdoor seating now than they used to, so they're taking advantage of that. And Mr. Chote is again doing some more outdoor seating. He has increased the size of his patio, so his patio is open now. And
that's got to be, that's got to be tough for him. He just got into that deal with the building, did a lot of renovations in it, fixing that thing up, and hoping to do this, and then bam. I'm sure he's not doing anything that would come close to what he was looking at doing.
Right. No, it's a big investment when you start a new business and renovating a new facility and making sure all the laws are followed and trying to build the clientele. And he was doing really well. Mm-hmm. And then the virus crashed, and you have to reinvent yourself to try to hold on.
Yeah. Now what I do here with the Seaside Chamber of Commerce, I've been sending invoices out. We send yearly invoices out, but they're to the month that they signed up. So a September one goes out in September,
Right.
and so on. But we've been offering them because of the pandemic. We've been offering that they can either pay the regular rate or half the price.
Oh.
And I've been getting most everybody at the half price, so that's fine.
Yeah.
There's a couple, like for instance, the garbage company. I did not send them at half price. All right.
Yeah.
They're charging their money. I don't think they're giving deals. I don't think.
No.
You know. So, but basically, that's what like. For instance, the Embassy Suites. They're normally at $900 for the chamber a year membership.
Wow, yeah.
And I lowered them to $450.
Okay.
And they paid it,
Yeah.
which was nice. But what's funny? In all my doing that, I never got any notes that thank you very much for doing that. they just, but it's okay. So hopefully, my answer to our problems are more members.
That's right.
What do we got here? We're getting close to a little bit of a break. So Broadway, there are a lot of good plans about Broadway. Some things are happening on a slow basis.
Right.
The gentleman who has two sons, who has the coffee place on our side of the street, and then his other son has his other restaurant down at the corner.
Right.
That's hopefully going to open one of these days. I don't to what? Who knows, right? Because of they can't come inside and eat unless things change.
Yeah, I was told that it's going to be relatively soon. So hopefully it will. It's owned by the father owns Casanova's in Carmel.
Uh-huh.
And very good restaurant, and we expect the same food here. It's good, I think probably Americana food, and so it should be a unique, fun place to be at, and I'm sure they're going to do some very creative things inside the facility to make it a real positive activity area or restaurant.
That the one you mentioned before, it's called, is it Four Brothers or Brothers Four? What is that called up there? The Brothers.
It's Four Brothers.
Something like
but it's
now
brother,
they built kind of like this little deck out there,
Right.
and obviously they came to the city, got that permit. Is that correct?
Yeah, and the city's doing everything they can to waive costs and try to ensure that they can have an opportunity to hold their own, stay open, and so they've made a nice little open air seating for their customers.
So, how's the city doing? I know that revenues from car sales have been down. Have they been picking up at all? Do you know offhand? Because you don't get a report for probably a few months after they make a report. However, it's by their sales tax dollars. But is that taking a pretty big dent into the city's budget?
Oh, it's quite significant. It's what is it, at least 10 or 20, about 20% drop in revenue from the past, be it car sales, be it the Embassy Suites and all the little hotels, anything to the Airbnbs, to pretty much all the businesses have obviously dropped off quite a bit. Which
that's right. You don't have that hotel tax as much, do you?
Right, not because the hotels aren't as busy as they were. I think it was about 80%.
Are most of the hotels open though?
I know the Embassy Suites is, and I've seen some of the smaller hotels open as well. So I believe so, but they're just, everybody's still, struggling, and there's no events in the area for people to come here. Before there was an event almost every weekend.
Sure.
Of lots of major tourists.
I do get calls. I do get calls with the chamber here.
Good.
They want to know the first question they ask, are the beaches open? And I said, well, you got to flip a coin on that one. Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. Yeah. So, anyway, it's
that and aquarium. I imagine they ask on occasion.
Oh, and has the aquarium been? They're closed too, huh?
I believe so. I think they were getting ready to open, and we went.
It sounds like something fishy's going on there. Sorry. Couldn't do that, but I'd kind of like to be like a caretaker in there, with nobody around and got all these fish and everything. Yeah, that'd be kind of a neat deal, huh?
You can go swimming with the sharks or something.
Get some roller skates,
Yeah, have a good time. It's a beautiful facility, and it's fun to go in there, for social events and just without all the crowds. It's a really good place to be.
Yeah. All right, so let's do this. Let's take another break. We'll do this. I solved my little echo problem, and sometimes I don't know what it is. I do something, and then later on I feel so stupid about it, so stupid. But here we go. We're gonna do if I can make this work right, like this, and like this, and take me out of it. There we go. We'll be right back.
KMBY Monterey.
I really like the car. I was just wondering if it's available in any other colors.
Oh, yeah, we got a wide range of colors.
Great. How about this white opal?
Not available.
Okay, the platinum metallic?
Out of stock.
Gold mist metallic?
Not available.
How about the Ming blue?
The mini blue?
Ming blue.
Min blue?
Ming.
Mind blue.
Ming blue.
Ming blue?
Yes.
Nope.
Tired of being badgered? For a better way and a better deal, come to the Seaside Auto Center in Seaside. Hi, Jim Boston here for the Monterey Chamber of Commerce. If you are looking for a great place to dine in Monterey, like the old Fisherman's Grotto on Fisherman's Wharf, check out MontereyEatPlayAndStay.com. If you are looking for a great place to play in Monterey, like Cannery Row, check out MontereyEatPlayAndStay.com. If you are looking for a great place to stay in Monterey, like the Portola Plaza or the Monterey Tides on the beach next door to Seaside, check out MontereyEatPlayAndStay.com. If you are looking for cars, car parts, body shops, car clubs, etc., check out MontereyCarChannel.com. It's quite interesting and fun. For more great information about Monterey, check out MontereyCalifornia.us. That's MontereyCalifornia.us. All of this and more brought to you by the Monterey Chamber of Commerce. Not a member? Join today. Call 394-6501. We're back. And we're back. All right. All I have to do is wait for this to kind of go down a little bit like that. There we go. All right. We'll get rid of that. We got our Mayor Pro Tem Dave Pacheco. And so you were asking me what I'm doing. Well, I got coming up, Dave, at 12. I'm going to do another special edition of Community Chit Chat with a gentleman from Fresno who just acquired, very interestingly, he acquired KNRY AM 1240 along with an FM translator. And a good friend of mine, and he's a partner with my partner, Gary Cocola. And we're looking at maybe, we'll see, of housing KNRY here at our studios, having radio and television, and returning the call letters back to KMBW, which they were originally in 1935. How about that, Dave?
That's a long time.
That's a long time. Yeah. So that's actually, you want to know that what's interesting is that those weren't the original call letters. The first call letters were KDON, which there is a station, KDON. So it's got a lot of little history to it, so love to kind of stay there on Cannery Row, but money talks, and it's hard to do radio stations and television stations these days. All right, so back to the city. How are we? We have dipped into reserves. Is that correct?
We dipped into reserves, about $3 million, as I recall, just because of the collapsing economy.
Yeah. How much do we have in reserve?
We had I think it was about $14 million.
Okay.
So now we're down to probably $9 to $10 million.
$9 to $10 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we expect next year to be the same?
There's no. I'm hoping things bounce back a little bit. Obviously, they're not going to bounce back to where we want them to be. So it's going to be a continual struggle.
Now, is there another budget session in January or February?
Yeah, January, February, they'll have a mid-year budget review.
Okay.
And then they'll look at where we're at. Do we need to make more budget cuts? Are we bouncing back enough to bring back some staff to do some work for us.
What budget cuts have you done? What?
I think there was 6 full-time positions that impacted the city a little bit, and so we're short some staff, and some people retired, and so maybe down 7 or 8 total.
Okay.
But
we didn't let any police officers go, did we?
No, we did not.
Because we're short a couple, right? A few, about 8,
I think
7?
We're short 10 officers.
10 officers.
And that's the way it's going to be for a while.
Okay.
And they're just doing a real good job as far as maintaining their services. All of them are working overtime, every day, and trying to keep the city in a very safe place.
I'm going to say this, that at the time that we dipped into those things, we're probably still going to have to dip into some reserves. Right. I don't think we're going to. I'm just forecasting this for you, okay?
Okay.
To make you feel better. I don't think you're going to have to dip in as far as you've done. I think you'll be. I think things will be a little better. Not perfect, but a little better.
No, I hope you're right. I think things hopefully will start bouncing back, and as the economy, hopefully grows, and hopefully we'll get some vaccine for this virus, and we'll get back to, I don't know about life as we know it, but at least a little bit better quality of life than what's going on now for a lot of us.
It's tough. There are times I don't have a problem with the mask. But sometimes, was it not yesterday? The day before, we had some back to some real warm temperatures.
Oh yeah.
And you put that mask on, you're out in the heat. It bounces back into you, doesn't it?
Right. For me, it's hard. It's also for me, it's hard to breathe if you're doing any kind of walking.
Yeah.
Over half mile. The breathing becomes a little
tough.
problem, and it's annoying.
Yeah. I mean, so what I do is when I'm going to the supermarket, I shop 3 places. I shop Lucky. And I shop Smart and Final and Grocery Outlet.
Okay.
I know what to buy at those places. What is the right stuff I want? Okay. I'm a very good shopper. But so I before I get out of the vehicle, I put that little sanitizer on my hands, rub those up there, and then I put the mask on and I go into the store.
Oh, okay.
And I may grab one of those baskets, or I may grab a shopping cart.
Right.
Then as soon as I get out and load my van, I get back in, I do that sanitizer again. And sometimes, before I put the mask on, I rub it on the inside of the mask.
Oh, wow.
Kind of gives a little freshening smell to it. Because sometimes,
you get a little stale.
You have, maybe you've missed washing it once or twice. You just grab and go. But it's become automatic. I think the other day I started walking out of the van towards Grocery Outlet, and I realized right away something. I got to go back and get my mask. Grocery Outlet does a pretty good thing. They pretty much the little baskets and such. They're constantly cleaning them.
Right.
And when you take one to go shopping, they don't want you to put back in there. That you put it back at the counter, and they'll take them out and clean them.
Oh, okay.
So they're pretty good at that. It's a nice store. I like that store.
No, it's a very good business.
Yeah. All right. So, where have you gone to eat lately? Do you eat outside, or are you eating all at home? You taking it to go?
Normally, if I go out recently, it's been at Googie's on the corner in Seaside on Canyon Del Rey. It's a real nice restaurant, nice ownership. Yep. And then I go to Angelina's as well. It's a little bakery that serves lunch and breakfast. And the Butter House is always, established.
But they're all outside, all right?
They have all seating outside, yes.
But Angelina's, do they have outside?
Yeah, they have a little, I think 4 or 5 tables out there.
Okay.
And, it's like, for bakery and some coffee.
I mean, that's right down at the corner of me at Birch.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And they have some very nice lunches and breakfasts.
I don't think I've seen the tables.
Great people.
Yeah. All right. Now, I had a question. So that's it. Oh, have you been to Taco Bell lately?
To who?
Taco Bell.
No.
Well, I found something very fascinating and quite delicious. They have a very nice little dollar menu.
Oh.
And they have this kind of it's a taco that's a hard shell taco wrapped with a soft shell, kind of like a combination soft taco and hard shell taco, stuffed with stuff, $1.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and they do a cheesy rice burrito for $1. And they have something else for $1, and the chips and the with the nacho stuff, the cheese.
Wow,
that's $1.
That's good.
I went there the other night, got me and my wife something. Oh, and I have to get the cat one of those taco things too. He eats half of it. He's got to have whatever we're having. I don't understand that.
Is it walking distance from your house? Or could be?
It is if I was if I wasn't so used to getting in my van. Yeah. My wife does that. She'll walk to places, but I should. But no, I drive there.
You know, your McDonald's is open, Mr. Hoffman.
Yes, I've been there.
It's a beautiful facility. I haven't been there, but I've driven by when I go to Smart and Final. But it's an amazing look for the city. It's much improvement.
Yeah. Oh, so I've heard something that Office Depot in Sand City is closing.
Oh,
have you
really?
heard that?
No, I haven't.
So thank goodness we have our Staples.
Yeah, Staples is
yeah.
My preference is Staples anyway. So
yeah.
So it's all good, and maybe we'll have more business in Seaside with Office Depot closing.
I would think so. That's the other thing. So the sales tax dollars, which is what is the big chunk of our revenue for the Seaside. How is Home Depot doing? Do you guys have hints on that?
Yeah, I think Home Depot is doing well. It's holding its own. It's doing well. It's pretty stable.
Places like Smart and Final, though you don't get much sales tax dollars, but some.
Right, but more Home Depot we get. I think Home Depot's been the top 5 of revenue, and when I go by, it's always still busy. Mm-hmm. People are always trying to improve their homes, and development's still going up. So
now I'm a little lost on the McDonald's. I did go there the other day. I got myself a burrito. I don't know if you remember at one time in McDonald's, the burritos were $1. Huh? So I just wanted to get one burrito in the morning there, and it came out to $2.14. And I said, oh, gosh, it's gone up a little bit. I said, what if I want to get also a sausage muffin? That's not an egg McMuffin, but a sausage. And those used to be $1. In that case, they just add $1 to it because it's the second item that you get, and then that's $1. So anyway, but I guess I got lost on the way you go through the drive-through thing. Obviously, that thing is set up more for the drive-through than to walk in, because to park and walk over there, you gotta kind of come around to the side onto near the street. We'll see what happens when the restaurant's back open for full.
Yeah, he was saying at one meeting that I attended that I think it's 70 to 80% of his business is drive-through.
Yeah.
And probably it's even, obviously now it's 100%. Yeah, the drive-through business is good. And I think they have 2 windows, not windows, but 2 drive-throughs.
They have kind of a 2 thing, then it pulls down to 1, but they do have 2 pickup windows.
Right.
Yeah. So it's very nice, very nice. I wish it well, okay, but obviously the drive-through is probably going to work a little better. But that In-N-Out drive-through, though, they get a big line of cars there.
In-N-Out does extremely well. Yeah, they're a prime location, and
we go there
back lines.
We go there probably once a week.
Oh wow!
They pick up something. I get a double. My wife gets a grilled cheese because she's a vegetarian.
Okay. And
order fries and one small hamburger with everything on it for the cat. We feed the cat in the kitchen. I give him fresh food and everything. But when I walk down with our plate, we eat in our little office. We have a table there we eat. He's got to turn around and follow us. He wants whatever we're having.
You better get him on a better diet. They're a more healthy diet.
So he loves pizza. I don't understand that. And spaghetti with meatballs. He's into that. All right. Anything else you'd like to get out there really quickly that we've missed something? What's important?
Today, like right now, they're having the vegetable and the giveaway at City Hall.
Oh, okay.
That goes to about 10:30ish. So
okay.
That's there's a lot.
Are you going to go there?
I may go there after I leave here, and then do some other errands after. So that's really important. And we encourage people to shop in Seaside, especially on West Broadway, and I think that's a really important thing. It helps the business people. Restaurants by like the Ham and Deja Vu, they have great food throughout Seaside. And I know some places on Fremont Street obviously are seeking your business. And then there's on the South Street, there's a restaurant over there. Can't think the name, but they're having music now.
Oh.
I believe on Wednesday night with some good entertainment.
Well, so is Deja Vu. They're on Saturday
Exactly.
night. They're going to have music there.
Yeah, so that's kind of in their patio area. So
yeah,
that's really good. So shop in Seaside and join the chamber, and we'll make a better community for all of us. And they're doing a lot of road repairs. I don't know if you've noticed that. I'm sure you have.
A lot of what?
Road repairs in Seaside.
Oh.
They're spending about $11 million on road repairs.
Are they doing that street in front of Panda Express?
They're doing Playa. I think that's Playa.
Yeah, Playa. Yeah.
So
that would be nice.
Yeah, they're doing Playa.
Last thing. Gee, I should have got this, but I got it really quickly. What's that big project up here on Del Monte where they got big giant holes and stuff near the dealerships? What is that?
I think that's the water pipelines.
Water pipelines.
I believe that's what they're working on, and then they'll repave the area as well.
Let's hope so.
I hope. I can see myself driving into a hole there.
Good one, Dave. Yeah. All right. Anyway, thank you, by the way, very much, Dave Pacheco, our Mayor Pro Tem of Seaside, for being here. He's always there, and wish him well. November 3rd, if he's not back before then, he's up for re-election here. And if you can, vote twice. And no, don't do that. That's another story. Anyway, thank you very much, Dave.
Well, thank you, Jim, and it's always a pleasure to be on your show.
All right, thank you. All right, so Dave's there, I'm here, and we are going to get the heck out of here. Thank you very much. I'll be back again this afternoon at noon, by the way. Back at noon to basically do something like a special edition. We're going to learn about KNRY Radio AM 1240.